Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this tarot reading is for you. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. The Six of Cups. You know, Cancer, sometimes all we want out of life is just tranquility. This card, to me, represents a little bit of serenity. It represents balance. It represents this harmony and this consonance that we might feel in life where things just seem like they're working. There are less problems. The problems we do have seem like they're solved quickly. And we're getting along with everybody. Everybody's nice to each other. Everybody's supportive. We're all kind to each other. It feels like this is a very resonant kind of thing that's coming into your life right now, which really is making me feel like you've been kind of disappointed recently. You know, we're coming off of a Five of Cups here. Anytime we get the Six, we know that the Five wasn't too far behind us. Okay, and that Five is where things aren't working out. Things aren't in harmony. Okay, so I feel like there's been some emotional turmoil. There's been some emotional volatility. There's been some lower moods, some disappointments, things like this. But now this seems like things are stabilizing into a greater harmony here. And I think that you know what this feels like, and you're excited to live a life that's like this, you know, that feels like it's in balance. I think that you're a very sensitive and compassionate person. I think that kind of goes without saying for a Cancer, you know. But I think that you're reconnecting with things in life and you're feeling more in balance. This is the Six Pillars of Health. This is friends and family. This is community. This is the feeling like we have a life that is supportive of us. This is where we feel safe. We feel comfortable enough to express ourselves. We can take our armor off. You know, you're that Chariot card, right? And the Chariot is wearing armor. The Charioteer, right? We can take that armor off, and this is where we just feel safe in our life. We feel a little bit of tranquility, and a little bit of serenity. I think we need this right now, you know? And I think that this is kind of like a simpler, slower, calmer life. Just getting to enjoy the little things. You know, and there's still challenges, there's still obstacles we'll have to face, problems we'll have to solve, but feeling like we can slow down and we can feel a little bit more comfortable in our own lives, and feeling like we can experience some of the pleasure of life. This is a really good day, this card. But let's put it into some context and let's see where you might be experiencing this kind of resonance. There we have, the Empress card. Very, very good. This is a time for harvesting and for enjoying and for receiving the fruits of your labor. Okay, because you are exhausted. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss the next transmission. Very good major. Look at the major arcana here. Bright, sunny, warm, free. Boundless, playful, abundant energy here. I feel like this Six of Cups is kind of a period of restoration for you. Things are going to feel like they're working out, and what that's going to do is allow you to kind of push toward your goals in life more confidently. You know, when we feel like our life is supporting us, when we're feeling like we're being hugged by the universe, we feel a little bit more motivation to get out there and you know, get to the top of the mountains that we're trying to climb. Yeah, I love this. Very powerful energy. I want you to claim this immediately. Just with the Empress alone, it's enough to say, yeah, I'll take it. Here we have the Adjustment card. little Eight of Swords, sure. Nine of Pentacles, Six of Wands. So this is the restoration of your energy. This feels like a coronation. It feels like this is after a long, difficult road where you have spread yourself thin. You're finally arriving at the oasis. Okay, this is the Ten of Wands, somebody who has been just crawling through the desert, thirsty and hungry. Finally arriving at paradise, finally arriving at the oasis where you can relax. You can get cleaned up, you can get some food, you can sleep, you can heal and rest and restore your energy. And I feel that there is really, and it feels like there's an ending that's happening, an ending to the just the dry, desiccated desert energy of like, scarcity, right? Imagine the transition from the desert to what feels like paradise, okay? Where just simply the presence of like running water is like a miracle, Major contrast between these cards here. And I think that you're basically feeling stretched and spread very thin. And I see that's changing now. You're entering a season of serenity and tranquility and triumph, really, where I think you're kind of crossing that threshold that's saying, like, I did it. Not only did I survive, but now I'm thriving. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to set this down right over here. Now, who shall be the guardian of your mystery card? We have a couple of new guardians here that we can summon. I think this is a time for Kevin, the bullfrog in love, right? Because I think that frog kind of represents like the leap into prosperity and abundance. And it's kind of like, when spring is here, the frogs start coming out again, and the whole garden, the whole backyard seems like it's just alive again, yeah? And I kind of feel that energy is really approaching fast in your life. And it kind of feels like it's going to be quick, where it's like we're struggling, then suddenly there's the oasis and we can rest, we can hydrate, and we can enjoy the abundance. Yeah, we're getting that tranquility and that serenity, finally. And I think that you took sort of a leap of faith because of this Fool energy. And I think for the space in between, it's been a road of not really seeing what we wanted to see. We go around every corner and it's saying, nope, that's not it, right? Because I'm still feeling that the Five of Cups was very present for you, which is this energy that says something should have been there, but it's not. And so we turn a corner expecting to see something, it wasn't there. So we get discouraged. We start overthinking it. We start doubting everything. But we keep going. And we turn another corner. It's not there. And then same thing. We get discouraged. We start doubting, but we keep going. Well, now you're turning a corner and there it is. Okay? And we could be talking at school, at work, at home. We could be talking romantic relationships, business things. What you've been expecting to see, you're going to see. You've been let down before. You've been disappointed on this road, but it's showing up now. Okay? We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together and give us our confirmation. Before we dive into the reading, we do need to summon your spirit animal. If you have a prediction for that mystery card, please put it in the comments anytime. All right? And give me a shout. Let me know you're here. Yeah? Let me know that Cancer's in the building today. Your spirit animal is the electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. Well, that's what you're doing. Okay, first of all, the Empress is you bringing your creative impulse to life. In other words, what you wanted, what your vision of life was, your intention, your goal, your dream, you're bringing it to life. That's literally like the textbook meaning of the Empress, okay? Also, with the electric eel, I'm kind of thinking the electric slide. Remember that old dance? I think I'm too young to remember that dance, and I don't know, most of you probably don't remember that either, but some of you might. And so it kind of feels to me like you're just kind of like electric sliding into that oasis, where it feels It feels like happiness. It feels like a party. It feels like a celebration. It really, really does. So claim this, please, and let me know what you think and how you feel about the eel, that electricity, right? And I think the electricity really is this feeling like you haven't given up because you can feel it in your bones. You can feel it surging through your veins that this is something important for you to do, and this is a path that you were supposed to be on, you know? And yeah, there's been disappointments, but now that Six of Cups is just saying we're getting that blessed day where we step into that paradise, and how that feels when you've been going through the desert for so long and then finally you enter that paradise, that oasis, that village where you're just going to be able to finally slow down, finally rest, like you're getting there, you know. Let's go ahead and open up the reading today. And just to let everybody know, I am still doing the Dove and Serpent radio. Okay, so be sure to tune in to that. It's a different channel, different vibe. We got the lights down low. Starting to do some of those radio shows again. It's really so fun for me to just, I kind of feel like I get to ramble a little bit. So check that out if you will. As we look around the room here in the temple, we see major arcana energies. A lot of them. You know, a lot of good major arcana cards. So this is telling me, just with the majors, that this is something that's been kind of like divinely guided and divinely ordained. You are supposed to be here right now. You were supposed to go through the difficulties and challenges that you went through to prepare you for what you're now achieving, and the fact that you're going to have to take care of it. You're going to have to maintain this garden, okay? That's what the Empress really is. It's about you creating something, and then not just walking away, but creating it and nurturing it and staying with it and continuing to pull the weeds and water it and help it grow. You know, there's meaningful work. There's still work, but it's meaningful work. It's resonance and harmony with life. I mean, it just feels like you're in the garden here. And it feels as if there's harmony between you and spirit, you and nature. There's harmony with you and the other people in your life. There's luxury. There are plenty of shade trees for you to lie down, take a nap in the grass. But there's still a lot of work to do. You know, we still have to kind of like, we have to pull the weeds, we have to edge the garden, and you know, we have to sort of put the nutrients back in the soil or whatever you do. And, you know, you get to harvest and you get to enjoy that. But it's kind of like it's a very harmonious, and there's consonance. We're resonating with most everything. Okay, and to me, that's kind of the meaning of paradise. It's something that's feeding you, but it's feeding you physically, materially, money, you know, physical nourishment, but also it's feeding your soul. It's feeding your relationships. You know, the Six of Cups to me is the six pillars of health also. So we're going to get enough sleep. We're going to eat good food. We're going to get enough, you know, physical exercise, physical movement. We're going to have low stress. We're going to have healthy relationships. And we're going to have a sense of purpose. That kind of harmony, doesn't matter what else is going on in life. If we got those things, and that sense of purpose to me feels like that's our spirituality, that's our spiritual practice, the stress reduction, it's all the spiritual, you know, it's all spirit. That feels like perfection, you know. Even when there are still challenges to face and we still need to be strong, we still need to have discipline, we still need to be motivated, feels like this is what we strive for. To have a day like this, it's perfect. Yeah. So we've got our majors anyway, and a lot of them good ones. Fool, Sun, Lust. We've got obviously the Empress and the Adjustment card. We've got fire. We've got water. We've got air. We've got earth. And of course we have a little extra fire there. So the fire is very nice. We're just saying that, yeah, right now we're feeling burned out. But what this achievement is doing for you is it's restoring your energy, it's charging up your batteries, and you're going to feel like you're in your prime. You know, that Six of Wands is just like, that's the best you've ever felt. That's the most proud you've ever felt. And that's you really feeling capable. Okay, your energy is in balance, you are in harmony, you know what you're capable of doing, and you're out there doing it. You're out there living your life and you know, achieving your goals and taking names. Yeah. So the Empress, like I said, feels like this is something into which you've been pouring a lot of your energy. You've been giving it all the blood, sweat, and tears. You've been devoting yourself to something. It's now paying you back. I think it's paying you back, infinitely more than what you put into it, right? This is a creative project that is bearing fruit. This is maybe even family, focusing on family and feeling like you're putting in a lot of effort and you're really getting just so much back from this. And it's not transactional. It's just kind of organic. It feels like I'm in the right place, doing the right thing at the right time. There's an alignment here between who you are, what you value, and what you're doing. And that alignment, it feels like perfection. This is a life that feels more beautiful, feels more safe, feels more comfortable. Okay? Feels more comfortable. And it's not a control. It's not like this, it's not a very aggressive type of energy. It's cultivation. That what you want to grow, relationships, your projects, your sense of purpose, your sleep, your nutrition, all this stuff. That's all stuff that you're putting effort into and you're really seeing results. You're allowing abundance and creativity to flow through you naturally. Put that in the comments. I allow abundance. Okay? I allow abundance. These are very nurturing behaviors. Nurturing yourself. Because there is now this, what's kind of like the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, the not fight or flight, the opposite one. Yeah, the sympathetic, which is I'm stressed out, I'm stimulated, I'm overstimulated, I'm fight or flight. The parasympathetic, now I don't know too much about, I'm not a scientist or whatever, but the parasympathetic is like the other side of that. That's just like I'm calming down. Life is getting easier. I'm not feeling as stressed out. I'm not feeling the urgent rush of life. I feel healthy and strong, but calm. Nurturing the kind of energy, right? Nurturing ourselves, nurturing other things. It seems very gentle now. And I really feel like this is what you've been needing in your life. Yeah. It's also sensory pleasures. Fabrics that feel soft. The breeze that feels, gentle and not like a harsh wind. You know what I mean? Jumping into a swimming pool and feeling like the temperature is just right. Yeah. And I think that this is, this is you also putting that kind of effort and the nurturing type of energy into your relationships with everybody around you, with your life itself. Yeah. What you're building is starting to grow and it's starting to bear fruit. It's already taken root. You've already put in a heck of a lot of effort, and now you're starting to see that a lot of that's coming back. I think a lot of people rely on you emotionally too. I feel like there are people in your life that kind of need you to be strong. Yeah. And the way you have your lights at home, I feel like your home is really cozy. Like you have a certain type of lights or light dynamic, or maybe it's like dim lights or something like this. Feels really warm where you are and cozy. Not like hot, but like just safe and kind of, snuggly almost. Yeah. I feel that you are trying to make a space in your life that feels like home. It's not just building a house, but like I want to feel like I'm home somewhere. Yeah. I think you're a very affectionate person, and you're very compassionate, and you're very generous. And so I think there are a lot of people that are benefiting from what you're doing in life, what you're working on, what your goals are. It's not just for you. It's not just an ego thing. Like you're serving something to everybody else. Yeah. And maybe it's food. Maybe it's comfort. Maybe it's just your presence. Yeah, I feel like you have a very strong presence. Down beneath the surface, Cancer, is that 10 of Wands. Now, this is somebody that has been stressed to the max. This is somebody whose nervous system has been in high alert, high gear for a while. Yeah, because this is a very responsible person, very generous with their energy, maximum effort, to the point where you're burdened and you're overworked. but there's a duty. There's this intense pressure. You're committed, yeah, but you're also overwhelmed. You're carrying a lot. You've been stretched thin. You've been sacrificing yourself. And that's something that the Empress has really known for, giving and giving and giving to something. And when these two get together, it's like you're giving and giving and giving, not really expecting anything in return. But that Six of Cups is saying that you're getting it. It's coming back to you, okay? Exponentially more than what you put into it. And I think it's the perfect time because this is really that exhausted kind of card. This is someone who is starting to feel the stress, carrying everything on your back and really holding tension. I feel like there's tension in your back. I feel like maybe your low back's been hurting more. Because I feel like that's kind of like you're carrying, like literally carrying a lot of responsibility. Yeah, too many. Yeah, I think other people rely on you very, very heavily. And I think now it's kind of the time where we get to set some of that down. We get to realize that, okay, this was a very intense period of striving. Now we get that Six of Cups, and it's just like it's a blissful day. Okay? And I think that it is a message to slow down, enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's not a time that's... the reading here isn't telling you to go faster and push harder. It's telling you to slow down, push less. Take care of yourself, take care of what you're building, take care of other people, and enjoy what you're doing. You know, because you've been carrying a lot. And this will destabilize you at some point because it's overload. Okay, this is that sympathetic nervous system that I'm in fight or flight, chronic stress. And chronic stress is, over time is going to really decrease your efficiency, right? There's going to be that diminishing returns. So we're in a mode now where it's like, okay, slow down, simplify, strategize, and drop whatever's not necessary right now. If there's anything you can postpone till next month, I'll do it. If there's anything that you can delegate, give to somebody else to do it. If you got too much on your plate right now, you need to clear some of that off your plate so you could put a little bit of you on your plate, a little bit of self-care, okay? And that's, to me, that's very important because the Fool back here, yeah, the Fool's such a good energy. This was a leap of faith that you took. This was a jump into the dark, scary forest of the unknown, you know? This is really where, like, you're courageous here. But I kind of feel with the Fool that, like, you jumped into something that you weren't exactly sure what it was going to ask of you. You know, like you got into something that was like, wow, I didn't know it was going to be this. You know, like when you take a job and they say, oh, it's easy. And you get there and it's just like, it's a friggin' mess. And you're like, nobody told me I was going to have to deal with this, right? I feel like it's something kind of like that, right? But this was like a spontaneous agreement. You know, you kind of leaped into novelty. You know, you stepped beyond what you knew and what was familiar. And you took a bit of a risk, you know, not knowing necessarily what you were getting into, but just kind of trusting in this energy and moving forward even without the answers. And I'm seeing like there is the butterfly in this card, right? A lot of symbols in this card. There's the butterfly, which is showing that this is a path and has been a path where you've done a lot of changing. You've transformed tremendously in the last year. On this path that you've been on, it's really changed you, okay? We also see the dove, the descending dove of grace and bliss and prosperity and healing. Because I think that you had this faith and this hope and this trust in the universe that this path would bring you rewards, that this would be a path that would make life easier ultimately, even if at first it's very challenging, it has its moments of just frustration, but I think you trusted that this was going to be a blessing, you know. And we have the grapes, which are saying that, you know, on this road, you need to be able to taste the fruit. Your journey's not over. The Six of Cups is not, hey, the end of the road. It's saying that you need to start living in harmony with this path that you're on. And so you have to start eating some of these grapes. The grapes are not just, you're growing the grapes. You're out there digging in the dirt all day, every day, you know, growing the grapes. and then you're giving them away to everybody else. You're selling them, you're donating them, you're sharing them with everybody, whatever it is. You've got to take some for yourself and say, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. I need the healing, restorative, magical elixir of that grape juice. And to me, I think grapes are such a spiritual fruit. I really do. I wish I could grow some grapes here in our little space here. Maybe one day I can try to start one vine or something. But there's also the tiger. And to me, the tiger represents the fear, worry, and concern, the challenges, the obstacles, the dangers on the path, and the crocodile too. The fool isn't aware of a lot of these things. The fool is leaping into this without knowing what the fruits are going to be, without knowing what the dangers are. And I think that's something that you learn along the way. And so this to me feels like you really like stepped beyond what was familiar, and you stepped into a new path that was meant for you, even though it wasn't fully understood until now. Okay, you left the comfort zone. It's like you started a fresh chapter, or maybe even like started over with something. Because I feel like it's kind of a freedom, and here there's intense responsibility. Yeah, so the fool really took on a lot of burden. The fool put on a backpack full of bricks and said, okay, let's go. And I think this is really like, you should be proud just that you were able to do this. Most people would shy away. Most people would be too aware of the dangers, and they'd say, not me. No, not me. But you said yes, without overthinking. And we're starting to think a little bit too much now. We have that 8 of Swords, but the Six of Cups, 6 of Wands, beautiful success. They represent the sun, and here is the sun card. Okay, so to me, this feels like it really is a path that's meant for you. Okay, this really is something that you're meant to be doing. I feel like this is a joyous, confident, and optimistic energy. You're very warm right now. You're very radiant. You're shining this light, and I think it's because you've been depleting yourself. You've been pushing yourself beyond the limits. But now it's like this. Your batteries are being recharged. Your joy and your optimism are here, and they're shining radiantly. And this is a very positive person, very authentic, very lighthearted. And it's a celebration. Okay, it's good news. Whatever path you're on right now, you're getting good news that is going to just renew your heart and soul. Okay, and you're expressing yourself fully, and you have this positive energy about you right now. Okay, and I think it's like the 6 of Cups kind of makes us feel, just elevates our mood, right, for one thing, and makes us more kind of outward facing, makes us more engaged with life. Yeah, I think this is somebody who knows who they are, knows why they're here. Things are feeling lighter, things are feeling more certain, and there is very good news. I'm hearing laughter, I'm seeing smiling faces. There is, this kind of almost like a safety or a comfort that just says I'm not scared. There's challenges, there's ups and downs, there's volatility sometimes, yeah. But this is the path, and I'm on it, and it feels good. And this is, I feel like this is a day in your backyard, you're having a barbecue with all your friends, and there's just not a care. I'm not worried about anything. Yeah, there's going to be challenges and puzzles to solve tomorrow, things to figure out tomorrow, but today, it just feels good, It's not easy to enjoy the day if we're very stressed about what we're going to do, what we have to face tomorrow, and am I on the right path? Is this working? And, am I going to survive and thrive on this path? But I feel like you're getting a real influx of this positive energy that's confirming for you that, yeah, you're on the right path. And this is bearing fruit. This is working. Okay, so I feel like the stress level is very, very low. I feel like you need a day like this, at least a day. So this is a very happy time, very happy phase of this path that you're walking into. Yeah. And this is, things just feel simple, This is very uplifting energy, very warm. Yeah. The future position, well, we've got more discipline, which to me, the lust card or the strength card or the fortitude card, this is somebody that can handle stress. This is somebody that is disciplined enough to handle the backpack full of bricks, but is also, like strong enough to carry the backpack full of bricks, but is also regulated enough to say, I need to take care of myself too. How do we maintain this very consistent strength? And I think it's by making sure we do the self-care, making sure we enjoy the fruits of our labor, and we continue to work hard. But this is someone who is not diminished by the path. This is someone who is not being ground down into dust. This is a sustainable strength. It's like the way I live my life is making me stronger every day, not weaker. It's building me up as a spiritual being, as a force, and it's restoring my magical potency. That's what this card is. It's that magical juice, that potency that you have. And I feel like this is a path that is starting to restore you in this way. This is somebody that can handle stress very well. Okay, this is somebody that knows how to stay calm in a very tense situation. This is you choosing patience and choosing how to respond to life rather than just reacting. Because we're not in that fight or flight mode. We're well regulated, And this is your true power. This is your capacity to remain present without force. We're responding to life calmly, strongly, and in control of our faculties, right? This is somebody now who is really handling a lot. Again, you still have all the responsibilities, but you're doing it with grace. And it's not diminishing you. And I think that really this kind of, to me, feels like the alternation. Like when you're at the gym, you lift weights, heavy, heavy, heavy weights, and then you got to rest. And it's in the period of rest where your muscles grow. And then when you go back, you're stronger. Okay? So I feel like you are a very, very strong person, and you're fortifying yourself. And I think very much those 6 pillars of health help us out. When we're getting good sleep, we're eating good food, we're getting nice, intentional movement, and we have low stress, we're dealing with our stress better, we have good relationships, we have a sense of purpose, we have harmony, we have spirituality. We're functioning optimally. This is someone with a zest for life. Yeah, this is a very robust and strong energy here. I think this is you managing the difficult nature of this path. You're going to continue to push forward. You're going to continue to make progress. People are going to continue to lean on you, and you're going to be able to handle that. Yeah. I think that this is a shift in your energy. Yeah. I think the Fool handling this kind of stress is probably not the best thing. What we have here is the Strength card handling this kind of stress and this kind of pressure and this kind of responsibility, and doing it with grace, doing it with style. Yeah. So I feel like this is kind of, this is about how you're transforming through this process, through what's being asked of you, or what demands you are allowing to be, placed on you. So someone who's choosing to go to the gym and stressing their body out, it's an intentional process. You're doing it with clarity. You're doing it with awareness. Okay? And it's making you a stronger person. So it's the intentional going to the gym and then being able to just kind of, enjoy that process and see the results, I think that's going to be the important thing. Now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent, but first, let's do an oracle of manifestation. I want you to claim this reading. If you're ready for that 6 of Cups, if you're ready for a little bit of serenity, a little bit of calm, hit that like button. Yeah, because I feel like we all need this right now. And it doesn't mean we're giving up, doesn't mean we're quitting. No, it means that we're taking care of ourselves and the people around us so we can keep going strong. Yeah, we can keep going strong. Your oracle of manifestation, we've got this shared journey. Honor your transformation. Right? Like I said, this is you transforming into someone who is intensely strong. And for you, Cancer, some of you are either on the cusp of Leo, or energetically you're starting to evolve into the more Leo type of cards, Leo type of energy, right? So you're getting more Leo cards. more solar cards in a lot of your readings lately. And, well, we have a lot of those, right? We have the sun, which rules Leo, and then here we have Jupiter in Leo, and, the 6 represents the sun anyway, so we really have this Leo connection. I'd start watching the Leo readings on a regular basis if I were you. I know it's going to take more of your time, but there's some insight there for you. And so I feel like that's you kind of stepping up a little bit more in life, putting yourself out there, taking more risks, being a little bit more bold. I think there's been a gradual shift in your confidence. There's been a gradual shift in your feeling like you're capable of doing stuff, And I feel like through your intentional efforts, you're becoming stronger and stronger and stronger and more confident. Your light is shining bright, Cancer. And I love to see that. I love to see your light shining so brightly here. It's beautiful. Okay. The share journey, it says, honor your transformation while being open to others on the path. And I think being open to others is important here for you as well. Cancer, you have a tendency to not be overly social. And it doesn't mean now that you're going to be or that you have to be, but I think you're kind of enjoying the company of other people a little bit more, and you're able to kind of relax and just feel comfortable in more social situations, feeling supported and feeling like it's safe for you to just kind of like, be yourself and stuff. So being open to others. And I love the phrase on this card. It says, together we make magic. Okay? Put that in the comments. Together we make magic. Okay? It doesn't mean that you have to like surround yourself with people all day. No, I don't think that's your style anyway. But I think lately you've been kind of wanting a little bit more companionship. You've been wanting to spend time with friends. You've been wanting to socialize a little bit more as a way to unwind from all that pressure and stress and intentional like striving, And I also like that together we make magic because guess what? We are magic makers. Hashtag magic makers. Let's make that a thing. Yeah, put that in the comments if you can. Please type it out. Hashtag magic makers. We've got to start a movement here. This is really beautiful. Now, as your general energy, you have the Libra energy. It is the adjustment card or the justice card. And what I'm feeling here is like a sense of balance being restored to your life. Okay, first of all, I think that it is kind of the mix between like I said, going to the gym. So it's striving and exertion and resting. Or it's even to me, it feels like it's the teeter-totter of your nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system activation, stress and fight and flight and all that stuff. And then coming back into a little bit, swinging the other way a little bit where it's rest, digest, it's that more calm energy. Yeah, which is just experiencing pleasure. And feeling the relaxation. I don't feel like we relax enough. Okay, so this to me feels like that kind of a balance. You're trying to restore that balance, and sometimes the pendulum has to literally swing this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then this way. It's not about the avoidance of extremes. I think you push yourself really, really, really hard. You have a lot of discipline, and I think that you really kind of go to an extreme, but then you have to go to the other extreme too sometimes. Where you have the burst of this intensity, which again, we can't let this become like chronic stress or chronic fatigue. It's okay in short bursts, but then we have to balance that out with like, I'm just going to rest and do nothing. I'm just going to chill today, be nice to myself, take a bubble bath, have some ice cream. Okay. I think it's not easy for you to find a happy medium. That might be what you're trying to do in life right now. Okay. Becoming more aware of yourself and of your body and of your surroundings, more aware of your relationships, more aware of your sleep, more aware of your stress level, and trying to seek a life that is sustainable and kind of balanced, even, like an even type of energy. And I think with this, you have to be very discerning. And I think that you're becoming a very wise judge. You are justice, and what justice is doing, justice is the judge. And the judge is passing judgments. Yeah, you got to do that. You got to judge everything in your life. Because otherwise, it's just kind of like your door's wide open and everything just comes in and does whatever it wants. No, I got to judge. I look out the people and I'm judging. Do I want to let you in or not? And so more responsibilities, other types of energies. This is really about you protecting your energy and saying, if I eat that, or if I talk to that person, or if I choose to go there and do that stuff, is that going to be good for me? Is that going to help me become stronger and more capable in achieving my goals and nurturing my paradise and living life? Or is that going to tax me too much? Is that going to be too stressful? Is that going to take too much of my energy, time, effort, energy, money, space, and spirit? Okay? And you can judge it. And you can say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to say yes to that. So you're really claiming this crown, this sovereignty of agency that's saying, I get to decide what I'm allowing to take my resources. I'm weighing, I'm judging the options here. And I'm saying, no, I don't want to do that. I do want to do this. I think that's going to be very important for you as well. Just that feeling, just really the Leo energy here feels like sovereignty. It feels like you are claiming your crown. Okay? And I think that this is... this is like, this. You ever read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? This is Aslan, right? This is the lion that just comes bounding in and saying, the war is over, stress is over, the winter is over, the scarcity is over, it's time for harvest, it's time for love, it's time for everybody getting along, and a functioning kind of society, a functioning life where we're all happy, we're all thriving, we're getting along, we're cooperating. And this is you taking that control and being the sovereign of your own life and saying, that's how I want my life to function now. You can't change the world, but you can try to make your life as close to that ideal as possible. I want my life to be full of cooperation and harmony and abundance and happiness. Nobody is gonna profit when other people are suffering. And so there's this balance. There's the Six of Cups. It's just perfect for you. Eight of Swords in the environment here. I don't mind this card in this position because I feel like it's the only swords cards we have. And I don't think it's a bad one. I think this is someone who has an attention to detail. This is somebody who is trying to solve problems and figure things out, someone that's putting their mind to the problem and is going to fix it. It is sometimes a card that's saying it's too complex or there are too many thoughts. Yeah. But in this kind of system, in this kind of alignment, this isn't too many. Okay, this is a good amount. Now, this may, of course, lead to some anxiety. Of course, when we have so many responsibilities, we feel overwhelmed. We start to get confused. When these two cards get together, it's like there's too many problems and there's no solution to fix them all. So that can be a problem. But I think that moving forward here in this energy, it feels more like you are cautious, and you are very analytical, that you have the ability to question things and not only solve problems and sort of trace threads of thought and collate data and all this kind of stuff, but you also have the ability to, it's kind of like metacognition, You have the ability to look at the way you've been thinking, to think about how I think, and maybe to say, we just need simplicity. Or it's like when I start to get wrapped up in too much of my thinking, that's when I just need a rest day, And I think that you're very intellectual, I think you're very thoughtful. And you're able to find connections between things that other people can't always see. Yeah. You're very good at analyzing things and running numbers and collecting data and all that stuff. But you're also very good at acting on that data and making decisions and being the sovereign and having agency. So you don't get tied up in these thought loops. I think you're able to kind of release the thinking and sort of trust in your own vision and trust in your energy here. Yeah. I feel like there's also some relationship right now or there's something that feels confusing, right? There's something that it's kind of like you've been trying to figure it out for a while. And I think what you're doing now is just kind of saying, forget it. Sometimes we get into this and it's like there's a problem, there's a puzzle, there's a confusion, there's a relationship, or there's some kind of issue that I'm trying to understand. Sometimes the best thing to do is to just walk away and go do something fun. Go run around outside, fly a kite, go swimming or something, or just lie in the grass or whatever, play some football. And the problem will sort of like work itself out in your mind under the surface, So it may be a relationship right now that feels confusing. It may be a business idea or a choice or just something that's just not so clear, but the more you rack your brain about it, the more complex it feels, and the less clear it seems, the more confusing it gets. So if there is something like that in your life, I think it's just step away from it for a minute, change your environment a little, and it'll slowly unravel itself. And when you come back to it later, it'll seem more clear. Okay? Especially with that sun card there. And I feel like you're too exhausted and getting mentally exhausted as well, that it's kind of, it's difficult to see the progress that you've been making, okay? So we've got these two positions of the spread that are intimately connected, and then these two that are intimately connected. So right now, because you're so exhausted, you can't really see the progress. But now with that sun card, there's restoration, there's clarity. It's kind of like wake up in the morning, treat yourself very nicely, get some good sleep, eat some good food, enjoy your friends and family, enjoy the fruits of your labor. And when you wake up, you'll have that refreshed solar energy and you'll be able to see the progress. 9 of Pentacles is the fear, worry, and concern. Of course, the fear is that I've been putting in a level 10 effort and maybe I'm not getting down the road. Maybe it's not working. Have I just been spinning my wheels? Or am I actually making progress on the road? Am I actually like putting some miles behind me or kilometers, right? And so this is the card of visible signs of progress. So it's very important that you sort of stop, slow down, look around, and acknowledge that you have been making progress. This is you living a successful life. And what that means is that you can see visible signs of progress toward your very meaningful goals. This is also a person who's very independent, feels self-sufficient, feels confident, has discipline, feels grounded in their results, right? Feels personally successful. And that's the fear, worry, and concern is that, what if I don't succeed? That's kind of what the fool, remember the tiger is saying, the fool's kind of jumping into something without really thinking of the fear, or really doesn't have the awareness of fear yet. But now that here you are exhausted, and it's just like, I really hope this is going to succeed. I really hope that I'll start to see those signs of progress. I really want to feel like a success here because I've been putting in so much time, effort, energy, money, space, and spirit. This is financial independence. This is you enjoying the results of your work. This is reward after effort. That's what you've been wanting to see. The 6 of Cups, the Empress is saying you're seeing it. You've got to slow down and look around and enjoy it because it's there. Okay? Treat yourself to something nice, Feel good about the life that you're leading. Look around. Appreciate what you've built. Have that pride, Have that pride that says, I did this. I think you did it with cooperation. No one is an island. But this independence, even if it's financial independence, if it's you standing on your own 2 feet and feeling like I'm on this road and it's working, right? This is the fruit of your discipline. And what you have built reflects who you're becoming. Yeah. So enjoy the fruits of your work and stand confidently in this independence. Yeah. I think this is it. This is beautiful. This is the road. This is the spiral road, and you're seeing that it's working. The 6 of Wands, I know this reading is getting pretty long. The 6 of Wands is that Jupiter in Leo energy, so this is that feeling of accomplishment. This is the feeling of not necessarily being recognized by other people and being praised by everybody's kind of saying, good job, Cancer. I think it's that too, yeah. But really this card is about, I am recognizing myself, and I'm standing a little bit taller today because I've done it. I'm doing something here. Game's not over yet. We're not done. We could keep going. I've got so much life in me that I'll never get a chance to express it all. That's okay. We're gonna come sliding into home plate or home base later on. We're doing that electric eel slide. Yeah, you're bringing your ideas to life. And this is that confident and proud energy. This is you recognizing and really praising yourself, feeling in this moment a success and an acknowledgement, feeling like I'm a winner. I'm doing this. I can put in effort and I can get the results. So I feel like this is you validating yourself. I think that you're standing out from other people. I think you are getting some kind of public recognition, or like at work or like from family or something, right? Other people are recognizing you as well. Yeah. But this is you feeling very proud of who you're becoming and feeling as if, wow, like look at me. Like I can set an intention, I can follow through, and I can get the results. Like that feels good to be able to do that, and we need to say that kind of like out loud, I think it's beautiful. Let's see what's underneath Kevin, the bullfrog in love. I don't know, maybe the chariot, maybe, I kind of like, it would be maybe more water. I think we can do some more water energy. Kind of feel like it's going to be another major arcana card. Put your prediction in the comments. Let's check it out. Knight of Pentacles, very nice. So the Knight of Pentacles, first of all, is not moving, has stopped, and is looking around and is saying, I've built something here that actually is lasting. I built something here that means something. Yeah. And I think is also looking at the future and seeing that there's more road in front of us, but feeling confident, feeling energized, feeling like I know how to travel this road. I know how to keep going in a way that's going to sustain me. I can keep going. If we're in a 10 of Wands, I can keep going maybe like a couple days, and then I'll just be spent. Because this is, you're doing the work of two people. And it's like that kind of intensity. Yeah, it's like I can drive the car with the pedal to the metal for a little while. But I'm either going to hit something, get pulled over, or run out of gas, or break something, or the engine's going to like fall apart. It's not sustainable. It's good in short bursts, but it's not sustainable. So this is somebody that's confident that I can go toward the horizon as far as I want to go. Yeah, feeling capable, feeling restored, and I think that there is a financial or physical component to this. I think this has to do with your physical health and with the goals that you have in your kind of human life. It's beautiful energy too. We're going to do our extended reading now for channel members and Patreon members, so click on the link in the corner or in the video description. New readings for Cancer, Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, I love you, and Cancer, we're all in this together.